Hey everybody, in this little short video, I want to go through how to actually somewhat repair if you have a mini disc player that has problems with it getting stuck, like the actual spindle gets stuck, and you'll know because you'll get like a read error, and that usually is because if you listen to the player, you can hear that it's not the disc is not spinning, but you can hear the laser trying to focus. But if you're running into stuff like that, where like you can tell the disc is just not spinning, but it happens sometimes, it's happening all the time. But I'm gonna go over how to actually open up the actual motor and how to split it, so you can actually go in and inject grease or whatever you need to, or oil or whatever. I am using this. I'm using a white lithium grease, which is something I've been using since I've been using them on stuff like my DAT recorders and stuff like that, and it's so far been a good, pretty good option and long-term option. But basically, what you need to do is you need to have a proper like toolkit of some kind. So this is like an iFixit kit. You want one of those. Mainly, you want to have a screwdriver that is very thin. For example, like one of like a bit like this, one of these really thin ones. And you also, if you have an iFixit kit and you're lucky, you'll probably have something like this, one of these like little scalpel type things. You want one of those so you can actually split the motor properly. And you also want to have your grease and everything ready, so you're ready to do this. Now, I will obviously have to say the words, I am not responsible for if you mess this up, because it is very stressful doing it the first time. If it's your first time doing it, then yeah, it's going to be a little but once you've got it, once you've actually got it apart, you're good to go. So, now I've already done this on this player, and I know because I've already done this player, and this player works fine, because I had to do it on this player, because this one has an issue, well, had an issue where it would just get, it didn't sound like the drive was getting, like the disc, like the actual spindle was getting stuck, but it started to sound like it was an issue with the laser, but it wasn't, because the laser was fine. I know the laser was fine on this thing, but apparently I'm assuming it was just starting to get a little gummed up, where it just wouldn't be running fast enough to actually read the disc properly, and it cause issues. You have to like hit it to get to work. But it's the same thing with all your players. Just open it up like normal. So take your batteries out, get your discs out, and then get down to the actual assembly. I'm not opening the in one again. I'm not. I don't want to deal with that. I will have to open it again. I can already tell, because the optical movement is still getting stuck every once in a blue moon. It's not that bad. It's like, when it happens, I just know I have to take the disc out and just yank it over, because it's getting stuck like right in the middle of the disc. So I don't need to deal with that. But it's only if you're like really quickly trying to seek around. So I need to look into that. I think it's a spot that I didn't get any grease on when I didn't want to take the entire thing apart, because I don't want to do that. But for the if it's an E900, it's not that hard to take apart. It's just take the 4 screws off, bend it here like that, and then pull this out the way, and then get the optical assembly out like that. One screw. I love the E900. It's a really nice player to open up, because it's very quick and easy to get inside this thing and get out of it. That, on the other hand, is annoying. That's why I was like, I don't want to open it back up. Also, because it's this one, and some players are very hard to get those drive to get the spindles out, because sometimes they have gears overlaying them. On this one, you can unscrew it and then peel up the ribbon cable that's glued down a little bit, some of the tape of it, so you can actually pull it up and slide it underneath the gears, because I don't want to actually like pop those tops off those gears, the little retaining ring. I don't want to do it. I don't suggest anybody else to do it, because if you do it the wrong way, it will pop off and fly across the room and you'll never find it. So yeah, that's why I don't want to deal with that. Now this one, I forgot how you get open. I'm pretty sure I just need to like come in one of these angles and just pop it open. But each player is different. Please refer to the service manual. You can look at the manual on the MiniDisc wiki. They have most of the service manuals, if not all of them. I'm not looking at the manual because I've done this a million times, so I'm pretty sure I know how to get this player open. Don't copy what I'm doing, because I am not trying to go look a bunch of information for a player that I've opened a million times. And I have had opened a million times because of the same similar problem, where it'll keep getting where it sounded like, it sounded like something was just getting stuck. In this case, it was obviously the drive, because I had put grease on everything, as you can tell, and it was still having that problem. So on this one, once you get it up enough, you can do that. You can come off from the side and be able to pop this up and then come from the side, and then get the optical assembly disconnected. Now, like I said before, this is a little risky when you're doing this. Be careful. Especially when taking this off. Be careful with everything, because it does not take much to break any of this stuff. So, for this one, all we need to do is take these 3 screws apart. Of course, I'm risking doing this, like opening this player up again when I've already done this. But I just want to go through the process of doing this because it would help other people if I'd show it. I can get it off. So it's 3 screws that hold down this optical pickup. Not pickup. Not this isn't the pickup. This is the spindle motor. And once you do this, be careful because you got a ribbon cable here. You don't want to mess it up. So peel it off to the side in such a way. And here's the fun part: is getting this separated. Now, this is where you need to somewhat refer to how you think this one is set up. I'm pretty sure they're all set up the same way, where they're literally just pressed in. But yeah, this is where I have to say I'm not responsible if you mess anything up. So I have a flat head and I have this, and then we now just split this, which is the most stressful part. I'll actually zoom in a bit. And here we go. Let's see, we can actually, I gotta count my page of the camera to make sure it's actually coming up on screen. But one to keep in mind, and when you look at this, you'll see that here are the connectors in here. You want to look in around it to see where the connectors are, the connections, right? You see those 3 wires right there. Stay far away from that and go to the opposite side of that, because that is where the connections from that wire come in to actually connect the cables here into the actual motor, the actual magnetic part of it. And you don't want to split. You don't want to cut those. If you cut those, and you just wait your entire time, the whole thing's gone. So don't do that. But the complete opposite of that, right around here, you want to get one in here, and on the edge. Do not shove it in deep in there, because you will break the magnet. Don't do that. So right here, just barely in there. I don't know if you can kind of barely see that, but barely in there, like so. And then what you want to do is you want to turn these in opposite directions, so that way you can apply equal force when trying to pop this up. So I have to kind of look at this when I'm doing this. Don't put it in deep, put it on the edge, and I'm trying to make sure I get it set up so I can do this. Don't go crazy with the force, just gently apply force until it starts to come up. You'll feel it, because you're right now we're trying to wedge it out of inside of it, where it connects into that little ring inside of it. There's a ring in there. I think this connects into. I don't know the full how it all works inside, so don't ask me. I just know how to take it apart and grease it. I'm not a mechanical engineer. I'm an electrical engineer. Well, not even that really software engineer, what we're like. But anyway, so now we can start to check and then turn. This one's not turning well. You can see that one's not turning well enough. Let me try to look here a little better. This may take a while, so don't be afraid to take a little while to do this. I may even take a while to do this. This also, I think this is a little too thick. Let me get a slightly thinner one. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. It's thick, but I don't want to damage anything. It's more ideal if you have 2 screwdrivers and not like I'm doing with this scalpel thing. I only have this, so I can only work with what I got. Okay. Okay. Opposite directions. Oh, okay. I see what I'm talking about. I actually started scooting over and getting onto those. And also be careful. There's a ribbon cable. As you see, I'm trying to be careful that the fact that this is also on another ribbon cable. Okay. I don't want to cut this because this is a very stressful process to do this. And let's make sure you're not going too deep. Okay. think we're good. There we go. Now this one luckily popped that easily because it's already been open. Now, when you've done this, it's going to try to close back down, like right now. But when you're at this part where you see exactly like came apart, you now want to like try to grab it of some way. It's going to try to come back down like what it just did. And it's okay. It's not going to go all the way back down, but it's you just want to try to get it up enough so you can get those magnets to get off of it. So we're having this type of spatula type tool thing is better because you can kind of get a little more leverage on it. Well, I can also try to just pull it off now, since at least we've gotten it off of the. Yeah, we need to go back. Yeah, that's a problem. Like it's those magnets are really strong. Come on. Come on, give it to me. It's the annoying part. It's gonna fucking thing out. The last part is part of the. There we go. And there you go. Now we've actually gotten it. Okay, Jesus Christ. I hope that was on frame. Like I told you, it's very annoying at the last part when you actually get it to unlatch, and then now you have to get it away from the magnets enough. So a little stressful. Once you do that, you can see mine. You can see is already a little extra, but it looks like most of the greases went inside of the spindle, and it's already discolored, which is hilarious from how dirty it was in there. And then what you want to do is get like I'll just go ahead and put some in it right now, just to give an example how to do it. So I don't have anything to really shove in this, so I use like the smallest, tiniest tip I have, which apparently is actually a what is this? Oh, it just says sim. I don't know what sim is, but it's not even a bit really. Get like a little, get your lubing stuff of some kind. Take that and I have shaky hands now. Sorry, just kind of shove it in there. Now this process, I always overuse it and I put too much grease in there. But I mean, there's no such thing as too much grease, especially when you come to something like this where you don't want to open it up again. And like I don't want to be out and about and this thing's fucking not working. I'll be mad. There we go. Kind of get it in there best you can. And it wouldn't hurt to also like get it around the actual spindle here while you're at it. Put some on the top of it, and then let's get a little tiny piece of napkin or something and just get the top, just clean the top off, get the extra off, because it ain't doing, if it's not in there, it ain't doing no help. Wow, that is actually pretty dirty. Honestly, it may not be a bad idea to do this once, give it some love, and then like do it again to help clean it out, clean up the inside of it. And then once you're done with that, it's just literally the reverse. This part's a lot easier, just push it in there. So you just take your spindle like so. It's already going to want to go back together. Take it and push it down until you can feel it click. Now you may want to move it a little bit because it may, when you first try to use it, may be locked up again just because of it. But put some pressure on to close it all the way down. Now I can only take credit for showing this in a video, but I found this. There was a Flickr album that was out a long time ago, apparently, that showed you how to actually do this, but that Flickr album has since been deleted. And thank you to the Wayback Machine, I was able to at least get the picture, so I was able to try to understand what was going on, so that way I could do it myself. Which, good thing I did it, because my N1 was pretty much not going to be. It was going to be useless if I didn't do this, because the drive lockup was really problematic, because it happened when I was out and about and I was trying to I was gonna bring the player with me when I went out somewhere, but I couldn't because it's the wrong bit. But the damn thing locked up, and this was like the first day I had it, so it was not very fun. Just a lot of uncool stuff. Anyway, screw this down now. Excuse my shaky hands. Be careful on the optical pickup, please. While you're in here, if you already have that white lifting grease, you might as well go ahead and grease up the drive sled and everything. Not drive sled, the optical Optical sled. I keep calling it that. I'm probably using wrong terms. Sorry, I'm not a mechanical engineer. So anyway, now that everything's good to go, you can notice a difference if you have a player that definitely does not work. But when players like these guys that are temperamental, it's a lot harder to notice if it's working until like you're like much deeper in it, like into using it. It's like you just don't have problems anymore, which is very nice. So now, let me pull. Actually, do it this way so you can see what I'm doing, as if this part doesn't really matter because it's just literally the reverse of putting the player back together. Now, some players are much more difficult to open than others. Like that, like my that in one, very aggravating to take apart. That's why I don't want to open it up again to loot the damn thing because it's not fun because you have to take the motherboard out, and ideally you would want to desolder the right head, but I was not, so I just had like pull everything apart, like and like set it off to the side, which was not fun to do. Let's go ahead and reattach the drive spindle and all its other motors. I really do like the E900. It's a much easier player to work on. It's also just a nice player to have. So there you go. And let's go ahead and just get this guy back. I think it goes from the side like that. Okay, that's not how that goes. Or it is, it's just not, it's being temperamental. Shut up, Apple Watch. I want to ask your opinion. Okay, there you go, like that. It goes sideways. Make sure we're not crushing any cables. Okay, good. Like that. There we go. We're in. And after this, it's just a couple screws. Like I said, one of the easiest ones to work on. Push me do this no thing and make sure that's looking good. Make sure we're not off to the side or something. So go ahead and lock this deck back down. Let me change them bits because the bit's too big anyway. And now, put the top back on. I'm only doing this because I just want to make sure that I show that it's still working. Oh, that's right. You do the opposite way, which is like that. I've never figured the best way to do this is like besides like doing it from the side and trying to scoop it in there like that. Get a little bit of flex. The E900. This was probably my most recent. Well, my first time getting back into MiniDisc recently. The N1 was like the one I just did like a couple of days ago. Really, I've been only using it for a couple of days in reality. But this one was kind of the first one that got me back into buying MiniDisc stuff because it's been a while since I messed with MiniDisc. And I still have my main two players. My Sharp one that I love because just the sound quality is good, and then my other Sony, my first one I had gotten. It's a very new one. Apparently the one I got was a very old model. Oh, I need to. That's the part I hate. I'm trying to close it up so I can just screw everything in like so. I hate this thing sometimes. I swear to God, you just go in there. The part I don't like is getting it back together. Let me see. Are you in there? Are you actually in your thing? No, it's not. That's why we need to do. I was not paying attention to what I was doing. I need to do that. There you go. I know people are cringing while I do this. People who actually know what they're doing are cringing like a motherfucker, but what do you expect from me? Okay, cool. Now I can hold this. And now we can put some screws back in, and then we can power it on, and look at it working again. Well, it was already working, but hey. But like I said, if it may immediately not start working. You may have to like spin it manually to get that spindle moving, to get some oil moving around in there, and actually getting it in motion. I'm gonna call that. What do you want to say? Put one on each side. There you go. Now I can put it down. I actually used to have some paint up here, but it's not sticking, so I took it off. Even though I liked it. I had painted the Walkman logo orange because it's more reminiscent of my old Walkman. It's like my Walkman phone that I had. Oh my God, you're being a dickhead. Come on. I hate this little stupid thing. This little thing right here is annoying. This little dinky little fucking dangling thing that's used to like assist it when it's opening or something. I don't know what it's doing, but I'll know it's in the damn way. Oh fuck! Look at that. I hate these little tiny things sometimes. It's like working on a little watch. I would probably actually rather work on a watch than work on, well, I mean, I would rather work on this than work on a DAT recorder. Jesus Christ, that was like years of just like stress and things not working until I had to just start paying people to fix them. There you go. So now, let me get a remote control. Here's one. But after you do this, it should be pretty much golden. You really shouldn't have more problems after this. Give it a second to move around. There you go. Time. Okay, I need to see the time to see that it's actually running. There you go. So now she's running. It still makes this player still is very rackety and makes a lot of fucking noise, but it's okay. The fact is that it's working. So that's my short guide on how to actually split the motors on these guys and actually I'm not guaranteeing. Stop making such noise, you're annoying. Well, at least this time it's not making the horrible sounds it makes when it tries to read the disc. But yeah, I'm not going to insinuate this will work for every player. It's not going to fix every situation. It's very much depends on like what's going on. But a lot of times it could just literally be that the spindle is not keeping its speed, or is just getting gummed up, or is just not moving at all. If it's not moving at all, then there you go. So, I hope that was helpful, and I will probably see you guys in the video. Probably my next video actually going over my MiniDisc players I own. So, bye!